Well, hello, I'm Chris, and this is my bodywork video for beginners part 2. Now, we've got this thing in sealer, and in part 1 I'll show you how to, we go through the bodywork and the procedures that we use to get it to this point. Now, this might look like it's perfect and ready to paint. It's not. Now, it's all up to you, but in this video you want to aim for perfection. If you can get it all perfect, it's better to try to be perfect than try to cut corners. Okay, now we're going to look for imperfections. Now this just has a coat of sealer on it, and you can see the point of the video was to make the surface smooth so it reflects the light off. And that's why this piece looks like it's painted even though it's in sealer, is because it's just reflecting the light off well. But let's look closer for imperfections. You can see we rushed through this, so we have sand scratches. Little bit of sand scratches. We have a place over here where at the corner of the sandpaper was actually like stabbing it in the wrong direction, causing those little imperfections. And over here we have this damn pinhole thing and some other, see the pinhole? And just like some sand scratches and stuff. You see from far away, you would never see that. Now that's the thing. I mean, we're right here. You see what's going on, but when you get back here, you don't see that. Now, if that thing was based in clear coat, you would really not see it. But you want to learn to get all them out. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go back, fill those little cuts, fill the pinhole, and we're going to put it back in primer, and we're going to do it over basically. So okay, so one of the things. The reasons that other one kind of had imperfections in it is because we were dry sanding. Now that's the problem with dry sanding, is that it's kind of easier to miss stuff. So on these we're going to wet sand to see if we can get a different result. Now when you wet sanding is actually cool because it cleans your paper and keeps it cutting better. So that's definitely a benefit of wet sanding, but the negative side of wet sanding is that you expose everything to moisture and you have to let this crap dry. You have to dry it out right. So we're just gonna, I think this is soapy water. I was using this for gas lines, but whatever. Same procedure. We're doing the X motion. Wet sanding is gonna be a lot better. I like wet sanding because it seems like when you spray it, just everything is more smoother. The problem with dry sanding is that the stuff cakes on there and you're actually, instead of cutting, you're actually scuffing it or like dragging it and kind of defeating the purpose of sanding. The other cool thing about wet sanding is that you can kind of get in there with your fingers a little bit better. You have more confidence doing that. Like you're not going to screw it up. See, and with the wet sanding you can do your edges, and now you can use your finger a little bit and not worry about screwing it up. When you're sanding dry, you really don't want to hand sand, and then it makes it easier to get in these grooves. Using the yellow foamy block. This is my favorite block now. Okay, since we're gonna have to go back and make some repairs, you want to go ahead and just scuff the whole damn thing with Scotch-Brite anyway, and see if you have any imperfections that you missed. See, we're just scuffing this with the gray. So pinholes can kind of be a mystery, so it's up to you how you want to handle that. Do you want to just put polyester over it, or do you kind of want to clean it out a little bit? Get you a needle or something, however you want to do it, to kind of see what the hell is going on here exactly. Okay. These, we know what these are. We scratch those in, we're just going to fill those. Now in the little pinhole, you don't want to use this. on these, since they're already sealed off and we know what they were, you could get away with doing this, but I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna use polyester. So we're just gonna mix a little bit, put it on there with our finger, and then we're gonna wipe it clean. This is just the way I'm showing you how to fix it in the video, man. You can fix this however you want to fix it. Just gonna get a little bit and kind of wipe it in there. For minimal sanding. See how we got it in there? Now the same thing with this side. Okay. There with it. You do not want to put that stuff on there with a putty knife. It'll scratch the shit out of everything. So if you only want to do that with some clean hands or dry hands, I've been doing body work, so yeah, don't go to Burger King and then do that. Just gonna keep scuffing this with this gray thing. Okay, since we got to be real careful with our little filled place, we're going to use 400 dry, and we're just going to kind of gently try to get that out. Okay, that's all we're going to do. So I was talking about in body work, you always stop before you just see the little dot. Get this bastard out. Now we're turning our finger into like a DA. Okay, that's it. We're going to stop right there. Just make sure everything's scuffed. Same thing. We're just going to try to spray some primer on there. Just like that. We're going to go ahead and put 3 coats, just like we normally would. Same thing right there where the sand scratches were. Oh shit. Okay, well, I made a mistake on here, so I guess that's good for the video. Let's talk about how you make mistakes. You make mistakes when you get in a hurry. So what happened? Well, you've seen how I filled those with my finger, sanded them. When I put the 3 coats of primer on there, I didn't let them dry long enough. So when I went back to sand this with 400 on the block, it kind of ripped the primer off. And it ripped it off right here on this whole corner, screwed this whole edge up right here. Okay? Same thing happened right there. You can kind of see that. What happens when you mess something up is the downtime can actually be more. So the downtime can actually be just as long as the project took. It was about 3 hours for 3 pieces I did, start to finish. So you're gonna have 3 hours downtime. Now this piece isn't gonna get painted, screws everything up. So it's not even worth it to get ahead of yourself. So what happened? Okay, so what happened? The solvent and the primer kind of softened up the sealer. Now if I would have let it dry longer, it would eventually dried out. Okay, so now I primed them last night, went back, didn't do any body work to them. I just feathered it out, but this line is screwed up right here. So we have to re-block this. A bit of advice would be to get you an egg timer, and when you're spraying that primer, find out what the cure time is and just go ahead and set your freaking egg timer. 45 minutes or whatever, and don't even start sanding until this thing goes off. It's a pretty big mistake whenever you don't let it dry and you just rip everything off. So how are we going to fix this? Well, 400 is probably not a good idea. It's not going to cut down that good. So we're going to try to just go 320, see what happens. We're going to have to reblock this. Now if you're a beginner and you screw something up, you may want to put your guide coat on there. So I'm just going to put it on this Durablock. Okay, we block that out. Now we're just going to go ahead and return to normal, feathering this out with 400 and polishing up the repairs that we made. Okay, so I finally got the body work done on it. We have it all feathered. Notice how it is feathered with 400. I wet sanded it. And I hope you are understanding the point of these videos that I'm making about how to do body work, that we're using the sealer to test our body work so that we don't paint it and then have problems. Okay, so this gun, I haven't cleaned it since the first video, and that reducer may have come out. So we're just gonna put some sealer on here. This is not a how to spray paint video. I'm gonna go ahead and put some sealer on this and let's see if we fixed our 3 imperfections. We're gonna let this dry and then check our work. Okay, so this is the other side, the one that we wet sanded. You can see the difference whenever you wet sand it. This one doesn't have any imperfections. So actually the wet sanding is a little bit better. Now the body work I'm doing, this isn't taking long. I mean, it's probably taken me, when I block sand, it probably takes about 5 or 10 minutes. Well, I haven't really looked at this one until just now. This is the other side. But what I'm finding is one imperfection that we missed right there. And that is the beauty of the sealer test. See how it's distorted in the light right there? If we would have painted this, guess what? You're gonna have to repaint it. Okay, and this is the whole point of the video. This piece looks like it's in real good shape. And the point of this video is to show you to use sealer to find any imperfections before you paint. Totally freaking missed it. That's the point of this video, to catch that before you paint your freaking car. Does that make sense? Okay, now this, okay, now it's drying a little bit better. We see that our imperfections are gone. Our pinhole is gone, it looks good. Our corner right here that we screwed up, we blocked it back perfect. It looks real good. Our sand scratches up there, they're gone. Our little dig-in cuts that we had down here, they're gone. Okay, so we successfully went back and fixed our repairs. Now, here's another issue. This is a 1K surfacer, means it just goes on straight, it just reduces. No hardener. Now this is a 1K surfacer and 1K sealer. Now, whenever you buy your surfacer and sealer, if you can, buy the same brand. Well, you need to buy the same brand. And if you can, get the dual sealer surfacer. Because if you look real close, you'll see how these two have started to react to each other. Right there, I don't know if you can see that. See, it looks like little sand scratches and stuff. Now, in this case, it was from me not feathering on a light coat of the sealer. I kind of blasted it real thick because I want to get this video finished. But if you start seeing stuff like that reacting with each other, you need to stop, man. You need to just stop what you're doing, put this out in the sun, let that cure, and figure out what the hell you did wrong. Because You start getting reactions like that, man, that will discourage the hell out of a new body man. You'll start thinking like superstitious phenomenon is going on, like you have a bodywork curse or something. Okay, so I hope I covered some more common issues for new body men. Don't be scared to do it. Just go out there and freaking start doing it. Be confident. I hope these videos helped you. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Got more videos coming. Thanks for watching.